Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live stream. We hope y'all had a wonderful week. Kyle, go.
Welcome, everybody. Good to see everybody. We got a lot of people in the side chat already, and we're just getting fired off. It's been a weird week. We've had some weird weather down here in Georgia today, last night. They were predicting it to be stupid, but it didn't get stupid, and we didn't even really get the rain they were looking for. So I don't know what that's going to hold, but yeah, work's been just stupid. I'm glad it's Friday and I don't have to be there tomorrow. And I'll leave it to Jamie to tell you what we're doing tomorrow. But other than that, CW, what you got?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. We got a couple of topic ideas for tonight. We'll bring up those in a few minutes. We had some weird weather here too. We're getting a lot of that rain. Yesterday was really nice, but today's been rainy, drizzly all day. Tomorrow's going to be a washout with winds and rain. And Mother's Day is kind of iffy. I think we'll get some clearness in the afternoon, but the morning is going to be rough. I got we got our first summer league starting up on Monday night. So I'm going to go down with one of the board guys and see if we can make sure our target frames are in good shape tomorrow morning for Monday. So that'll be probably the extent of my weekend. We're going to go out with some friends on Saturday afternoon as well. I forgot about that'll be it for me. I'd try and get to the range, but I don't know if I'm gonna, but we'll see. What do you got, Mock?
Howdy, folks. Glad to be here tonight. Good to see everybody. Nothing new. Crazy weather over here, too. Got me a range trip in yesterday, just working up some loads again, and looking forward to the chat tonight, boys. Go ahead, G.
Oh, just playing. Now it's been raining here for the past couple of days. It's still drizzling right now here. So since I'm west of UCW, it looks like more stuff's going to be coming your way here.
Yeah,
next day or two.
You're sending it to me, I think.
Yeah, doing my best to get it out of here. Had a busy week. Picked up a couple new items. Did a video on one of them. Got some other videos coming up. Glad to see everybody here on the panel and everybody in the chat. That's hopping over there, isn't it? Wow.
Already.
Yeah, that's good. We do have some great topics tonight for everybody out there. So thank you for coming. Appreciate y'all.
Y'all remind me to run down the side chat before 9 o'clock this week because we got involved in a topic or two last week. Mark Thomas said he played hooky, and he's glad he did because it's going to be bad weather tomorrow. There you go. And I know.
Yeah, the turkeys around here don't like the water, so ain't going to be great.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the random snap that y'all just heard. I'm trying to add salt to the pool. And I spilled some, and my dog's out there eating it. And that's just not good for her. So, one of those things.
And there's
Kingpin.
King of all pins.
Evening, gentlemen. How is everybody? Thanks for having me.
Hello, sir.
Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, Kingpin.
Evening.
I love having him on. He keeps us focused.
Keeps us mellow and focused.
Because if we're not careful, we'll go off the rails and start talking about barbecue, grits, tacos and French fries.
Green beans with bacon.
Oh, man.
Yeah, sounds good. What time?
Peas and carrots.
I'm even good with that.
I had shrimp and French fries for dinner.
Ooh.
I don't know what to call what we're about to have for dinner. Okay, Italian meatball sliders.
Nice.
I got a friend. Every time we go, see, all right, come on, Kingpin, reel us back in, buddy.
You started it, Jamie.
I know. I got a friend that every time we go out, he gets a meatball sub. I'm like, dude, how do you eat that crap? I'd have
with sauce and provolone cheese.
right. I'd have for 5 days.
Yeah. What
There's
you been up to?
Ozark. What's going on, man?
What you been up to,
Thoughts of an
Kingpin?
old soldier. I'm trying to reply to him, but it's not auto-filling.
Not a whole lot, just working, stuff like that.
Good deal.
Anyway, old soldier, I appreciate that, sir. It's not letting me do my normal ninja stuff.
There you go.
Good deal.
Chris reloading 9.
6 shooter, how you doing, sir?
Tacos
I'm
and French
learning
fries
some
makes me
stuff,
want to
yeah.
go to Del Taco.
I just finished up 1,000 rounds of 9.
I wish I had 1,000 primers. I used to. Used to have about 10 of them.
Well, let's get started on our first topic, and then we'll run through the side chat. Y'all cool with that?
Yes,
Bring it
sir.
on.
And this can be whatever. This was CW's idea. Hunting ammunition. Do you prefer hand loads or factory, and why? Thoughts of an old soldier always wants a crystal.
I will tell you this. I prefer hand loads because I haven't bought any factory ammunition in so long. I don't know how to shoot in any of my rifles. I know what my hand loads will do. I know the performance that they give, and I can make my judge on whether or not I want to make the shot or not.
Real quick, before we go too far, are we also talking about cast projectiles, or are we talking about factory projectiles and hand-loaded?
I think it'll be a part of the opinion of the talker.
Okay, so it's each person could have some people. All right, cool.
Yep.
It depends on which rifle that I'm shooting as to which projectile I prefer. Some I actually prefer cast because I know what they'll do. And if I think it's beyond the range of the cast bullet, I know what the factory projectile will do. So, I'm still a big fan for hand loads.
I'm not a big hunter. I hunted growing up with my grandfather. After he passed away, I just kind of veered off of it because that was our thing. But he used to have a guy hand load for him. He didn't load himself, but he had another guy hand load, and we used factory. I guess just depending on what he wanted it for. So this is going to be a learning experience for me listening to you guys.
CW?
Well, hand loads, 100%. The last factory I ever bought was probably Legend to get brass because it was a brand new cartridge. You couldn't make it out of nothing. So, but I didn't hunt with it. I just shot it up and had brass to reload to make my hand loads. And to address the cast, I do use more and more cast in my rifles. It's something I hadn't done for quite a while. I used it in pistols a lot, but I hadn't hunted in states that I could use a pistol. And then Connecticut opened up pistols a few years back, but they restricted them so much. It's only revolvers, no semis, no single shots. So it just made things more difficult. But I use a lot of cast around here, my rifles as well on deer hunting, as well as a muzzle loader there. Daniel mentions that's another. I use my own cast in my muzzle loaders.
There you go.
What about you, Mark?
I think once we gain confidence in our loading, our accuracy, and everything like that, we should go to our hunting loads being hand loads. I started off with 44 Magnum single shot rifle. Never put a factory round through it, but I used XTP bullets and took a couple deer, confident in that load. And then I've got a good cast load, a 240 grain cast powder coated bullet with a gas check. In a water jug and jeans test, it opened up to 0.780 at, I don't know the velocity. I don't have a chrono yet, but you just gain your confidence. So I see no problem with doing hunting loads as long as the confidence is there, the accuracy is there. From my distance, I was at 75 to 100 yards with that load. And James Pollard, he'll back me up on the 44 mag being a deer slayer. I mean, a lot of you guys know too, but it's his go-to. It's the woman's go-to. So, and of course, muzzleloader is my second round choice. Even for firearm season, I'll grab the muzzleloader, and I'm doing cast bullets for it now. So I haven't reached out with any rifles with cast bullets, but I've reached out with my hand loads, and they're doing pretty good. So maybe one day if I get the range to hunt, longer, then I'll try it out.
Yeah, I do put a limit on the range for my cast, even with rifles, and it's probably 200 yards.
Right.
If I got to shoot farther, I'm going to use a jacketed bullet, and I'm also going to probably change calibers because most of the stuff around here is up close. There's been so few past 100 that you could probably count them on two hands.
Yeah.
But that's the reason, pretty much, because I'm 35, 55, 60 yards. Everything's close, so I don't need all kinds of velocity. I don't need fancy bullets. I don't need any of that stuff. Cast bullet in a rifle like a 30-30 or a 35 rem is more than you need. 45 Colt, 44 mag, 41 mag. They're beautiful. They're perfect. 300 blackout. They're perfect for my kind of ranges, and they're all great with cast.
Yep, here where me and Jamie live, we're in the woods unless you can get, around a power line crossing or something like that you have permission to hunt on. A 30-30, a 35, that is a perfect lever gun. You're not going to get much more than a 100-yard shot. But I do cast my own 308s. 200 grain and 185s, and I trust them up to about 150, 180. But if I'm actually hunting, I'm no more than 100 yards with a 300 blackout, and if I'm using a 308, I'm using consumer produced bullets, factory bullets, but I hand load them.
See, I'm going to tend to agree with Ozark comment I put up from him earlier. High pressure rounds, like when I'm hunting out in a hayfield or something like that, where I'll have 300 to 400 yard shots. I'm going to use. I'm probably going to use hand loads, but it's going to be store bought bullets. But with my 30-30 and my 35 Remington, those are cast lead bullets that I've worked up loads for, and I'm comfortable with out to say 100, 120 yards. But rarely do I need them that far. When I'm using the lever guns, I'm usually looking at a 75-yard shot as far as I can see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I'm up in a tree stand over a hayfield, I got the 270 with me, and I'm usually shooting 140 grain or 130 grain Hornady SST. Those tend to work. Waltz Fletcher knows what I'm talking about. 270 forever, baby. But there's times when I'm in thick brush, I need that 35 Remington, and I'm using a 200 grain cast lead bullet. And I hate to admit this, but I already have. So it put two deer down with one shot because I didn't see that other one sneaking up behind the one that I was taking aim on. Because I was looking through my scope, and then she moved up and it went right behind the shoulder blade of the first one and right through the neck of the second one. So,
That's just some meat, collateral damage.
yeah, I don't like that. I hate
Well, I
to,
hope you didn't run into a game warden on the way home, but
it's all right. They were both does, so we can have 10. Jason, I like a Lee uh, 309 170 flat nose is the
make
one I
sure
use.
it's flat nosed.
Yeah, and I'll say something else. Those FTX bullets that Hornady sells, um, the ones with the rubber tips on, you can use a more streamlined bullet. I think those are overrated. I'm not sure they will actually open up at the velocity of 30, 30, and 35 Remington. I think it takes a lot more.
I've shot a bunch of them, Jamie, and they open up too easy, too fast.
They open up too fast.
Yeah.
I've
I
heard
shot
other folks
I
complain
shot a
that
deer. The first one I ever shot was 160 grain, the 30-30 FTX, one of my hand loads. And they were starting out around, I want to say 23 and change. This deer happened to be one that was right about 100 yards, so I was dropped some of that velocity off, and that bullet never came out the other side of a rib shot.
wow.
It was just shrapnel inside.
Ooh,
I did hit a rib, but that's it. And the
that's
35,
that's bad. That's bad. No,
the 35, I've only done a couple of deer, and they've been at higher velocity, but they also were the same thing. They spit their cores, typical cup and core performance. But that was at 35 Whalen, probably 2,750 or 2,800 feet per second. But the way they came apart, I have no doubt they'll be just like all the rest of them. I've shot deer with a whole bunch of the 45 FTXs, pretty much all of them. 200, 225, 250, 300, all of them I've shot deer with, and they all come open up easy. They're all, I consider them all just like a Nosler ballistic tip, pretty fragile. Open up on the lower. They definitely open under 1,800, which is the threshold for most cup and core bullets.
yeah, and I'm just going with personal experience. I've never taken a large game animal with a cast bullet. I'm just going by punching paper at distance and punching milk jugs at knot. So I know what it's going to do. I know the velocities of it, or I used to until I shot my chrono. But but I have faith in. I'm not going to take a shot that I'm not going to know if it's going to be a one shot, because you don't want to just severely wound one, no matter what it is. I don't care if it's a bear or a squirrel, and have it suffer for a week and a half, So I want to make sure of what I got, and I know what I would shoot at it would take care of it.
I don't see Rebel in the side chat yet, but he'll back me up on this. We did a test a couple years ago on Blackout forums with that 160 grain FTX bullet, and one of the guys does this with all different kinds of factory available jacketed bullets, and he tested that down, and I can't remember the velocity. He got reliable expansion, but it was well below 1,600. And it would make a really, really dandy hunting bullet for the Blackout for probably inside 100 yards. If you can get it going like 2,000 feet per second, you would have a great bullet for the Blackout. And that just shows how that bullet expands way down in the velocity range reliably.
What about Dave's question right here? That's a good question, Dave. And I think I'd have to think about that in my situation because we hunt in a lot of brush here in Georgia at times. Um, Depends on the rifle, depends on the load, and depends on the hunting terrain. Uh, for a brush gun, no. I want all the power I can get to bust through the privets and the hedges and still be going straight. But for those longer shots, yeah, I'll give up a little power for accuracy because it's all about shot placement, no matter what you're using, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, I'd say that with a rifle, that pretty much goes without saying. I'll always sacrifice a little power to get better accuracy. With a handgun, depending on what I'm using it for, what my target, my range is, maybe defensive use, I would go power over accuracy. But pretty much for a hunting gun, I'll always choose accuracy because I've got plenty of power to spare, or I'll use a bigger gun.
There you go. And Ozark says he loves those FTX Hornady bullets.
Walks. I agree with Walks Fletcher. He said all hunting ammo is a compromise between accuracy and power, and that's a fact. Once you get into your accuracy nodes and your confidence, and if you've done any expansion tests, you're on. So that's a good point.
I'm trying to catch up.
That
Ozark likes the 150 grain SST for 300 blackout.
Yep, they work good too. They're another one that opens pretty easy.
I was curious about the 125 grain SST on a 300 blackout at 2,100 feet per second. How good it would do. I haven't done any expansion on that.
I've probably shot more deer with that bullet than any other.
Okay.
Probably 20 or 30 deer between me and my buddy. They always open up. Pretty much always get 2 holes. Something comes through the other side.
Hey, Michael,
I kind
that's
of
a
like
good
the
mode.
208
You'll like it, James.
or the
Jason.
230 grain SSD.
Did you guys happen to see James, the Bohemian Hunting Club's video with the 44 expansion?
No.
That thing flipped inside out, which I'm not sure what to say about that. Pretty impressive, but is it the right thing?
LBJ, my all-time favorite 4570 bullet is probably always going to be the Lee Ranch Dog 350. There's a whole bunch of good ones. Marlon's got a couple of them. There's a whole bunch of really good bullets, but I really like the profile of that bullet. I'm a sucker for a wide flat nose, a large meat plat.
James. Oh, I love it.
As long as you can hit them, Chris, they're just fine. It's where you put them, where you put that bullet.
Yep.
Walt's got another answer for you there, buddy. That bullet junkie. I'm assuming that's the Lyman number.
Yeah. It's a 400 grainer, I think. 380 grainer.
Yeah, Mike, Hobby's Hobo. That's a good question. Put it up there, Jamie, when you get to it. Hobby's Hobo. There it is.
For me, it changes with caliber. But, you got the probably about a 6-inch circle that you can keep your bullets inside on a whitetail broadside. You're going to be fine. But most all guns will do better than that.
Hey, you guys talking about shot placement. It's a little off topic, but not really. A lot of guys on forums and stuff, you'll hear them talk about smack the shoulder right there on that blade and just, cripple them and send that shrapnel into the breadbasket. I'm not sure that's the best place, but
it's the best place for DRT. Top of the shoulder. Right, you get the spine, top of the shoulder. They just lights out instant. It's where I like to shoot them, but I'll sacrifice a little meat to get that. If I'm shooting, that's because of my range. Again, I'm shooting 35 to 60 yards.
Yeah.
If I was shooting 400 yards, no, I'd be shooting center of the lungs. bigger percentage of getting my bullet where I need to be.
Right. And I guess that depends on, yeah.
Totally on range, conditions, animal, situation, you know, totally. But always want vitals.
Always.
And you shoot for the opposite shoulder, shoot for the opposite, look for that bullet coming out. Check your angles, watch your angles. It's a little bit of bow hunting.
Hobby's hobo, in my opinion, for a hunting load, 2 MOA is sufficient. Some guns do not achieve 2 MOA, like some of our old mill serps, which may be all some folks have. So 4 MOA is probably uh, more realistic as to what they can get. But yeah, I'm thinking 2 MOA is plenty good for killing deer. And here's another Reloader 762.
That's the second favorite. That's the Gould Express.
And then Chunky says he's got a ranch dog with 30 cal, but 6 cavity. And
Yeah,
John,
you're gonna have to find them used or Accurate Arsenal. I forget which one of them makes copies, so you can find copies from them.
look me up, John. I'll play with you. I'm not good, but I'll play.
John.
Here's one. Ozark likes NOE 350 hollow point.
Hmm.
That taco design. There's Mac, man. What's going on, brother? And I'm behind on comments. Walks throws one in there for 30-30.
Yeah, that's a classic one.
Yeah.
James mentioned the 243. That is a good deer load right there. 243's got some mass behind it.
So, is there any game that you would only go factory loads? Like if you were going to squirrel hunt or dinosaur hunt or whatever animals out there, there's that one animal that you'd only use factory ammo. And I guess anything that you're going to shoot with a 22 doesn't count because,
All right.
that whole not reloading 22.
For me, it'd be squirrels, and my squirrel rifle is a 17 Mach 2.
Can you reload that?
Nope, it's a rimfire.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll accept
Well,
that
it's not
because
impossible.
17's not the 22, so I'll accept that.
Right.
67 Rebel, he's in a group chat, a group text. And I can't, we ain't heard from him in a couple of weeks now that you bring it up.
So Kingpin, I'll take and squirrel hunt with 22 rifle in the trees when they're cutting early on in the season. But when they're on the ground later in the season, I'll go with shotgun. So, and I will load for that too. But started out with factory loads there. So just some number 4, number 5 shot for a squirrel. When they're on the ground, I like using the 12 gauge.
.30 bolt guns, interesting.
You figure you got coyotes, you got fox. I guess people shoot fox.
My coyote gun's a 223 handy rifle, single shot with 60 grain XTP or a varmint, whatever that's called, VMAX.
Now, is that a factory load or is that something that you reload for your?
Okay, it's factory bullet reloaded. I guess that's not counting in the question.
I honestly can't think of anything that I would hunt with factory loaded ammunition because I don't have a single firearm that is sighted in with factory ammunition. They've all been sighted into my pet loads. I've got my dope chart. I know what bullet I'm using, what range I'm using, and I can dial it into the scope. I know where my open sight Henry 44 mag lever gun hits. And the only reason I've shot factory ammo out of it was to get brass. So I'm going to be on a hard no.
Nice, James.
Yes, sir. If I'm hunting squirrel, I'm usually taking 22, so I'll have to use factory for that. But yeah, I will use factory in my 270, but I prefer the loads that I've loaded up with those Hornady bullets. And the critical thing about whatever load you decide you're going to hunt with this season, go get your scope sighted into that particular round and don't use it for nothing else. Just, yeah.
And don't forget to practice in the cold weather because we know we could get some pressure changes and a little bit of accuracy difference, I guess. When you're sighting your gun in at 90 degrees in August, well, here comes, opening season could be 20 below.
There's this guy on YouTube. Let me expand on that for a second, Mark. The Real Gunsmith. You ever watch him?
Yeah, I was yeah.
Okay, now he builds rifles, and they ain't cheap.
Yes,
I think they're around $2,500. But he says when to sight in that rifle and for the target that he sends home with the rifle, you got to remember that most of our deer hunting is done cold bore. So he'll take a rifle and build it, fire one shot, and then leave it out in the cold. And then the next morning, he'll go shoot the second shot.
yeah.
Then so on and so on till it has a 5-shot group. So, and that's the true test, I think. And a lot of times we go testing our rounds, and we're like, well, I got that one flyer right there, and I'm like, well, that's either your fouling shot or your cold bore shot, and the rest of them are right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's something you need to think about before you go hunting. But go ahead. What were you saying about the cold?
No, just the fact that the climate around you, the ambient temperature affecting the ammo, whether it's in your pocket or in the chamber, we're going to have pressure increase or decrease or, different things happen. And I agree 100% on the cold bore. When you hear all this excuses with cold bore stuff, if you're a sniper, you need to know what your cold bore is because that's all you got. No matter how much it changes after it warms up, you need to know your cold bore accuracy.
Many times that stray first shot or that stray cold bore shot, as people call it, is all a bedding issue. They can usually be fixed with proper.
Is that right?
Bedding, yeah. Think about it. It's a shift in the barrel that causes that to be in a different spot. So,
sure,
heat expands, heat contracts. Cold contracts, but it's moving.
Yep.
So if you can stop that moving, and a lot of times
makes sense.
So Dave's got another question, and after this one, I got to run through the side chat and say hey to all these nice people.
I guess my opinion is a young opinion, young and experienced, but I would go with a 3 to 9 and have it halfway up because you want the good field of view, as far as in the hunting situation. That's just me.
I'll put it this way, and I know Dave's playing devil's advocate here, but I've always and forever had my favorite scope be a 2 to 7 variable, but I'll say 90+% have always been shot on 2 power. So, a 3 or 4 power scope is going to do you fine out to 250 yards. It's just what you think you need more. I've got a few red dots that I'm absolutely completely comfortable shooting that far with, but it's not all red dots. It's got to be a good one, no parallax, a good sharp dot. But
It's like my four,
that Leopold I got, that RDX, that's every bit capable of many hundreds of yard shots.
On my 35 Marlin 336, I have a 4-power fixed power scope, and I think it's a 4x32, and then I have them jacked up see-through mounts so I can see the iron sights too. So close up, I'll just use the iron sight, say out to 50, 75 yards, and then out past there, I'll use the 4-power scope. But I'm fixing to take all that off and put a 2-7 on it, I think. Walks has got a 3x9 on a 30-06 and 25-06. I think a lot of the times we lost Mock. I think a lot of the times we're overpowering our scopes.
For sure.
So there's Ocean. Let me go through the side chat. Y'all okay with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something I don't usually do and see if I can streamline this a bit and go to the participants list. According to YouTube, we have Chris from the 740, CW's in the panel. We have Fuzz T48, Georgia Shooting Connection. Who is that? Hobbies Hobo, and I just lost it. Hold on, let me get it back up here. James Pugh, MCK, is in the panel. Michael Hurtneck, Ocean 374. 01 Guy, Ozark Spirit, 6-shooter Texan, Tacos and French Fries, Thorzax, Walks Fletcher, and Walter Bunning. And I know good and well there's more of y'all than that out there. And I'll see if I can catch up. We got James Pugh, James Pollard, Chris 338, Hey Ocean. Got Andy 79Z28, Ozark, Tacos and French Fries, Walks Fletcher, Chris from the 740, 6-shooter Texan, Michael Hurtneck, Thorzax, 01 Guy. Maybe they weren't wrong. Reloader 762, MacMan 039 Reloading. G. Pishner, what's up, buddy? I hope you caught up on the question, man. We're talking about, let me share that one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess that's about, I know I saw one of our ladies out here, Abigail.
Abigail's out there. Yep.
There's Thoughts of an Old Soldier, Bald and Curious. Daniel God is my judge. John's hand loading. What's up, brother? Walks Fletcher. Hobbies Hobo. Chris Winslet asked, will a 10 millimeter take down a hog? Shot placement, baby. Shot placement. Lead Bullet Junkie. Michael Hurtneck. And I think that's everybody. Jason Stewart.
Floyd Hicks made it.
And Reloader from
I'm
Reload.
eating dinner and didn't think y'all wanted to watch me eat.
Reloading from the Hot Pot is on the panel, and he got quiet when we started talking about hunting, didn't he?
he popped in.
There's Hasbro.
Damien, I'm listening and learning.
That's awesome.
Oh, we got G23 too. Was he on the participants list? I don't know.
Idaho Rogers.
Idaho's there. What's up, man?
Howdy, everybody. Good to see y'all.
Thank y'all for blessing us with your presence tonight. All right, any more questions down that road? Did we cover that pretty good? So yeah,
Abigail's got one there just put up.
uh, that would be yes. All day, every day, and twice on Sunday, Abigail. Except for I won't hunt on Sunday.
Thorzak's had a good question.
Well, the way things have changed with the accuracy and cost of some of these new cheaper rifles. Used to be, I would have said, custom precision would be my choice, but I'll tell you, I've spent more money than I like to admit on a couple of custom rifles, and I've spent $300 and $400 on some of these Ruger Americans, and they shoot every bit as good as guns I've paid 4 and 5 times as much for.
I would have to agree because if the way I hunt, taking a rifle like that I paid that kind of money for, I probably wouldn't take it out in the woods. I want a good quality rifle. I want one that's accurate, but I don't want one that I'm afraid to drop or ding or scratch up through the woods because, that's what hunting does. There's an interesting comment from our brother Hasbro. There's Walter Davis. What's happening, man? Sick 'em, Big Al. Yes, they have, and not just that. Hipparchus, they are starting to the secondary market is becoming very more prolific than it was about the Ruger Americans. I have a Ruger M77 and 30-06. I absolutely love that rifle. I've killed a lot of deer with that rifle. But I was talking to CW and talking to Thorzak's, and some of the barrels on those are just not that great. And when I go out to shoot it to test rounds with it, about the best I get is inch and a half. I mean, it's not a sub MOA shooting gun at all. But that 30-06 will put deer in the truck, put meat in the freezer. That ought to be easy to do, 6-shooter.
Yep, I just texted him, or I just commented to him.
Ooh, man, that's some shooting.
As long as you get the right powder in them. Did I say that out loud?
You did.
I caught it.
There's your question directed right at you, CW.
One of the best advice for people getting into handling firearms. Well, it's a tough time to get in now. You can't find any materials. But it's still good advice as far as I'm concerned. You can build yourself better ammo for cheaper than you can buy it. Still, it's the margin's a lot smaller, and you do have to overcome your outlay for your equipment. But unless you're not shooting much at all, you're going to recoup it. And if you're smart about it, meaning you can buy them at used prices instead of brand new. Maybe you got a buddy, or you can find a new friend at a gun range or your gun club, and you can pick up some used equipment. That'll severely reduce the amount of outlay for that initial product, and it's going to make a huge difference. You can tailor loads to your guns and produce much better accuracy, consistency, and reliability with a hand load. But if you're that kind of guy who shoots 3 or 4 bullets a year, it's probably never going to be a cost-effective thing for you. All depends on how much you're going to shoot.
I guess as far as a custom rifle versus a store-bought, I'll speak for the younger hunters, or the inexperienced, I should say. With a little experience loading and stuff, I've seen a lot of accuracy out of some of these platforms. And for instance, the Ruger American is producing great groups right out of the box with factory ammo. You can't go wrong. But I'm sure it's purpose driven too, as far as how far you're going to shoot. If you're traveling to shoot, if you're traveling to hunt, you're going to want, a good custom rifle that you can get used to, get that load worked up for. But right out of the box, even those $80 muzzleloaders on clearance at the end of the year for Christmas they do great out of the box up to 100 yards for deer. I mean, it's all over the place. But these days you're getting super accuracy out of the box.
You guys are awesome. Yeah, Hobby's Hobo is right. When you go and you buy stuff whether you need it or not.
Yeah.
And it's too expensive right now. We're hoping those prices will go down. But there's a thing in investing called dollar cost averaging, which is like if you buy this at $75, then you find it at $35. Well, you're $25 or whatever, you keep buying it. Eventually, you're going to flatten out there around $50 is what you got in the stuff. You know what I mean?
Is anybody swaging bullets? Nope.
I just did a video on some 223s that were given to me.
Yeah, that's right. If somebody supplies the dies, I'll be glad to make them some bullets. I think I could do a good job at that.
Here's Bulldog.
Howdy, y'all.
It'd be fun doing it.
I just emailed you today.
Somebody forgot to lock the door.
Oh, no. Somebody sent me a dadgum key.
What's going on, Sarge?
Oh, I actually woke up for this one.
Nice.
Oh, Lord.
We like waking up.
Library.
This is my thoughts on hand loading and Dave, I appreciate you asking that question. I've gotten to the point in my life where I despise buying factory ammunition, and I wished I'd have started hand loading when I was in my 20s. That's how I feel about it. Then when you start casting your own bullets, you're taking it to a whole nother level. And a lot of the stuff I learned from Dave Thorzak's from Taco, Full Head Taco from Fortune Cookie 45 LC, from the Hot Lead Zone, from Elvis Ammo. And guys, the reason I started making videos is trying to give back some of the stuff that I'd learned from guys like those. And, I wanted to I wanted to give back to the community that I'd learned so much from. And there wasn't nobody out there doing stuff like 35 Remington. But I was casting bullets before I was reloading because I was into muzzle loading stuff. So yeah,
Just goes back
But I
to we
must
all
say,
got something to
Jamie,
learn. We all got something to share.
Jamie, that 35 Remington was a fun series, and I had a lot of fun going along with you with it because we both shoot it, and that's been my most deadly weapon when it comes to deer.
That's how I found Jamie with the 35 Remington, because I had a 35 Remington lever action, and I parted ways with it now. It lives in a very good home, but that's how I found him. Yeah.
That was a fun journey. It really was. I enjoyed going to the range and shooting with him, and I think we developed quite a friendship through that process right there. Because it seems like we were at the range, if not every week, every other week. I got another round to shoot. Come on.
I did 5 different loads with that cast bullet. I have so many more now. And
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I was eating and nobody wants to watch me stuff my face, so I kind of backed out for a minute, but I was still here. Yeah,
There's
exactly,
Rebel.
Ocean. Exactly, Ocean. It's the best thing I ever did, and I enjoy it.
Howdy, Mr. Hester.
I can't remember not doing it really, because I've done it since I was I think 9 years old.
I'll
On
tell
and
you what,
off.
Bulldog, you have helped me along a lot with you and Thorzak's both, and Julio too. I mean, I can keep going and going and going and going, but a lot of us reload different types of firearms and different calibers and all that stuff. We all got a little bit to share. I can tell you what not to do on a couple things.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there.
Everybody's got their wall of shame. Don't do that.
wow, Walt.
4 years old. That's impressive.
See, that right there makes me want to go back and do some more 35 Remington.
I sent you some good 35 rim 200 grain round noses to try.
Yeah.
I tell you what, this community is beyond anything I've ever seen as far as people that have the knowledge willing to spread it. You want their email address so you get to know them, and then eventually you get a phone number, and then they become your friend, and then eventually you start meeting up. It's weird, but I really do love this community. Everybody's got something to share.
I could not agree more.
Yeah, Chris, I was just showing the guys before we started here a group I shot with some Black Hills 223. I'm sorry, Black Hills 300 Blackout, 125 grain open tip. It was that Sierra bullet, and I shot him 5 of them into one hole at 100 yards. It was probably the most accurate, probably the best group I ever shot with factory ammo. And that was a buddy of mine had it, just handed it to me. Here, you got to try this. I didn't even have to buy it.
That's a fact right there, man. It's like a man sitting at the house with the remote. He ain't worried about what to watch. He's worried about what he might miss. Right, Led Smith?
That's a good way to put it right there.
I heard about the last half of that sentence.
This comment right here, Walks Fletcher says, "Whatever happened to one load for one gun? I just can't do it."
I
That's
still
like
do it.
that's like a man sitting in his recliner with the remote. He ain't worried about what he wants to watch. He's worried about what he might miss.
I tell you, I've got
Exactly.
not counting cast and jacketed.
You know,
Um,
you can stick to one load until you find that really cool new bullet mold.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, with jacketed, yeah, I got a number of guns that just have one load loaded up, ready to go, and I'd have no reason or need to do anything else with it. But then you throw in that cast mold that you just got that you got to try, and then you got to start all over again. So,
Well, we need to hear Sergeant and Mr. Leadsmith's versions of hunting, our topic, our first one. Jamie, why don't you ask him a question?
I will as soon as CW answers this question. I know how I would answer that.
do you believe that partaking in shooting sports improves anything overall? Oh, of course. Anytime you can shoot more, you're going to become more proficient at what you're doing. So, yeah, absolutely. I've been a bullseye shooter for going on 40 years, and absolutely. I became a better shooter when I started listening to myself doing pistol classes 20 years ago.
Not just that, it might be that one thing that gets somebody outdoors. It might be that one thing that gets somebody involved in a group or a team or a social deal. I mean, it's a good deal all around. It's a sport. I mean, that's how we need to treat it. Whether you're a FUD or a tactical guy, it's all got a trigger and it all goes bang. Let's stick together, period.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
It
The one
actually-
load thing, that goes for any caliber you're shooting. It
Correct.
doesn't matter if you only shoot 9mm, you're still gonna, that one load's just not enough. You got to play with it.
Oh, yeah.
Got a new
It
powder.
improves my focus a lot. Whether I'm sitting there reloading or at the range shooting, I can be a tattered mess straight out of work, stressed out, all that stuff. Either sit up in front of the reloading bench, start pulling that handle, or meet a buddy at the range, and
It's all
all of a
going.
sudden I'm calming down a little bit. It just,
Oh, yeah.
It's
Hey,
good
how's
for
it
the
going,
soul.
Lucy?
I've got to get out and test my shot shells.
It's amazing that something so quote unquote destructive is so common for us.
We're getting
Ain't it
deep.
the truth?
And it doesn't explode, blow up, kill, destroy, or ruin anything. Mostly.
The only way this habit's been destructive to me is I lost one primer on a Lee Loadmaster. On the upstroke, it went off, and I was thankful I had the blast shield installed.
Wow.
Because
That's
let
your
me tell
kiss,
you that it scared the crap out of me. I was sitting there with the radio going, just having a good time. I was about 750 rounds in, and all of a sudden, bang! Like, no.
That's a really good point, Kyle, and it's something that we all as reloaders need to be aware of, and it can't be reminded enough, and that is clean your primer delivery systems regularly. It's not the primers, it's the dust that comes off them that builds up in the tubes that is incredibly dangerous. Clean out those tubes regularly.
I had everything dialed in, just sitting there blowing through them, about 500, 600, go through, no problems. I had a little hang up over here, fix that, and keep on trucking another 25, another 50, and all of a sudden push down and bang! I was like, okay, I'm going in the living room for a minute. But I calmed down a little bit, went over there and cleaned everything out and took everything apart and cleaned it all out. And then, yes, everything was nasty. You make a very good point. got everything cleaned up and been rocking and rolling ever since. But about every 500 rounds that I load on that thing, I take everything apart and clean it up really good with some alcohol and a Q-tip.
I do too, Kyle. And I've been using that White Lightning. I'll spread that bike chain lube. I'll spread that down my primer trough and let that dry for a good day. And it man, those 500 primers slide through like butter.
Cool.
Yeah, Mike, good point. You and I have been talking for quite a few years too, before we do a face to face, and we had some good times on that forum there, Blackout. And I was talking to Jamie before you came on about the test that one of the guys did for everybody, but I brought it up about the 160 grain FTX in the Blackout, and you'll know his name right away. I just can't think of it, but he had tested that bullet down to some really low velocities and got very nice, reliable expansion.
Okay, back to Mark's original, or I guess the original question.
Oh, while Jamie's thumbing through the chat, I'll go ahead and ask. So, when you're hunting, which do you prefer, a hand load or a factory load? Why and what's your choice? Whoever wants to go first, go first.
Depends on what I'm hunting.
Okay.
As far as I always prefer a hand load, one of my loads, because I know what I've produced.
Got your repeatable results, yeah.
My latest is 300 Blackout. I live in the South in very dense vegetation. On my own property is where I usually hunt, and I can use 300 Blackout, supersonic, and subsonic. And lately I've been using 300 Blackout subsonic because it's quiet. I don't disturb the neighbors that are a couple acres away. I live on 21 acres, and I don't wake up the wife, and now I have my niece, or my great niece, her husband and baby here. I usually don't disturb the dogs either.
Nice.
So, and do you want to know what kind of round I use, or it's usually a cord round?
Either one, yeah. Just talk about it. I mean, if you hand load, is it a factory bullet? Is it a cast bullet? I mean, how far?
My shots are usually within 300 rounds. Yeah, no, it's 300 yards, because that's the range of distance that I have available to me. Down here in the dirty South, is it's referred to, or in Louisiana, we don't have that much distance. And I like to shoot my own rounds. That's what I practice with. It's usually what I shoot. I'm trying to think what exactly what my best round is. MP mold, hollow point, and I can't tell you the exact grain it is, but it's 300 Blackout, 30 caliber, 247 grain, not 15.
Man, I can't keep up.
It's moving fast.
You guys are making such good points out there. They're talking about buying a kit versus piecemealing everything you get together. And you guys, I got to say this, and I know uh, all y'all will agree. Y'all are all saying um, piecemeal your stuff together. Yeah, but you're not a new guy. You know, when I first started, I bought a Lee kit. I bought the kit uh, with my classic cast 4-hole turret press. Well, yeah, you know, you got to live and learn and all that kind of stuff. You know, um, so we've got that experience. CW and I think it was Tread said get a mentor and let let me tell y'all something. There's Echo's reloading chamber. What's going on, buddy? If you can find somebody that's thinking about getting into reloading and take them under your wing and help them, and man, that's going to be a blessing to you, to them, because we all got stuff laying around that we ain't using no more. We can all give a little something to somebody, and yeah,
You're going to save them money. That's what I like about that comment. And I was going to say again and just back you up, Jamie, that if you find someone, and for instance, me recently, my buddy from work, I got him into it. And yes, I had some materials to share and a lot of opinions on what I've learned so far. As I learned here on YouTube at leaps and bounds, I was able to save a lot of money listening to y'all's recommendations or seeing the results that happened in front of me, not just having something, not literally, but blow up in my face. I mean, we all do have to learn, but yeah, as far as a kit, there are good kits, but half the time, half the money you spend on the kit is just paperweights. But you won't know that until you get into it.
That's my problem with the kits. Is some of them are pretty good, but there's always stuff you're missing, and there's some things that you just aren't going to use, aren't going to need, that your money could have been spent elsewhere. My setting was buy piecemeal if you can find used stuff, and if you've got a source for good used stuff. If you're buying everything piecemeal brand new, you're going to spend a lot more. So buy a kit. But if you can buy used, buy piecemeal. If you can get a mentor, that's the best. You know, if you got a couple guys that you know either at work or at the club that do reload, they're not willing to be your mentor, but they can still give you tips. It's still somebody you can call and bounce something off of at the range, or you know, maybe you're lucky enough to get their phone number and they'll let you call them. That's gold.
Yep.
God thank you not the rebel.
Night, bud.
Good night, man.
Night,
Don't
Rebel.
rush off, man. To make up for being late in here, he's got to leave early. So,
All right, Led Smith, what you got, buddy?
Oh man, I was really enjoying this conversation on putting kits together and that sort of thing. And I like what CW said, because I've been looking at a lot of used stuff lately. I'm talking used stuff from 80s, 70s. And one of the things that's kind of prompted me to go in that direction and consider that is a lot of the stuff that is available now is outsourced. And it's happening more and more. A lot of our, Lyman and RCBS things that used to totally be made, here in the United States, we're finding a lot of it to show it up without any country of origin on it, or sometimes you actually see China. But I think there's a lot of value in searching up some deals on the old stuff. One example, I just got my Redding scale back, which is working beautiful, by the way. And it's a later version of Redding's number 2 scale. And, just two little details that separate it from, its older version is, the older one used to have all the graduations neatly engraved through the beam, and also had a much nicer, adjustment knob. And now the new ones today, it's the adjustment knob is basically just a bolt with a slot cut into it. The graduations are all a decal that's just kind of laid out across the beam.
Right.
And for less money, people are selling those higher quality, true Americana craftsmanship older Reading scale. So I would strongly, encourage people to look in that direction because one, I think that's probably a much nicer quality. Not that I don't like mine, I absolutely love it now. But yeah, you can probably actually get better quality for cheaper if you're looking diligently on the used market.
I agree 100%. Just they'll
I
build them
just
like they used to.
I just took too long to learn that lesson, unfortunately.
I've been finding a lot of old school stuff. I've been lucky enough to have a couple gun shops that end up doing estate sales, and I'll try to
Yeah,
score some of the old school stuff.
there you go.
So while you're talking, let's hear about your hunting preference on your loads, on your factories or your hand loads.
Can't say that I have one because it's been a long time since I've done any hunting.
Okay.
Don't have a whole lot of input for you there. I am hoping that what I am doing with my 7.62 by 3.9 will be sufficient for coyotes and that sort of thing up in the coming future.
There you go.
So I'm really kind of hoping, this this particular guy that came from the NOE that I got recently. I don't know if you can see. It's got a really nice flat point on it, and so I don't know. I'm really kind of optimistic about this guy right here. So we'll see. We'll
Is
see.
that for by 39?
Pardon?
Is
Oh
that
yes,
for,
yes sir. So it's got a flat point on it, real similar to probably what Mark sent me. I'm going to be getting a smorgasbord of those loaded up pretty soon.
I'm looking forward to your results. I have not used a lot of that bullet in by 39 just yet.
Oh, okay. Blackout?
Well, oh, you're doing okay. I'm sorry. You're doing
How hard are they, Mark?
what's that?
How hard are those bullets?
About 13 to 14.
You kick those along 1,700 or so, 1,800, they'll be just fine.
Yeah, that's kind of where my velocities are right now. So
Okay.
that's the range I'm working in.
Nice.
Yeah. Most any critters that I've taken lately has usually been some kind of cottonmouth snake or copperhead hanging around the property. And, good old fashioned 45 ACP round nose works pretty good on them.
Yeah, they don't offer much resistance to get expansion going.
No.
Problem I've been experiencing is coming up with 7.62 by 39 brass.
Yeah, it's not.
Midway's canceled the last 2 orders.
That's been an event for you.
yeah,
I did get my my Swiss Paratrooper AK 223 ironed out. I got some magazines that'll work in it.
That's good.
Can't wait taking plank on it. It looks a little weird, but it works. Function checks. Everything's good. She's all clean and ready to go. So, but yeah, Midway's canceled 2 orders of brass on me. I thought I'd stumble across some when me and Jamie and Mark met up in Nashville. And that was the only box. I saw some wild calibers in there that had brass in the box. 7.62 by 39, empty. I was like, what's going on? I don't know. I mean, I can buy some steel case stuff and might look into that tomorrow.
Ronnie's got a link there for you, Kyle. PPU brass, 7.6239. Graphs has it.
PPU brass is good.
Yeah,
I mean,
from
that's
Graphs.
not.
Yeah, new PPU. Well, new from the last probably 10 years is really good stuff.
Next
Hey,
time
Kyle.
Scotsman and Daniel, we all get together with those guys, they're going up in smoke. I'm tired of stepping on them. I'm tired of kicking them around my reloading room, and I'm tired of smelling them. Just saying.
Some what now?
Lee safety scales.
Oh,
That's my most trusted object on my bench.
don't say that.
I don't understand.
You know
not.
good and well when you bought a Lee kit and you thought, well, I've got everything I need except calipers and dies and components. I can start reloading. And then you tried to use that piece of crap and you took it outside, threw it down on the sidewalk, and proceeded to kick it around the block 3 times. Everybody did it. We all know it. Just admit it.
Hey, that's the calibration process, right? Take it around the block 3 times.
That is the calibration process.
For that.
So when I started getting into reloading, I read Lee's manual cover to cover multiple times. Well, yeah.
Let
And
me go ahead, Led Smith. I'm sorry.
one thing, if I understand, Lee has a completely different purpose for that scale than every other manufacturer has. Because Lee is quite sold on their powder measures, delivering the charge more efficiently than what you can do by trickling into a scale or that sort of thing. But Lee says that in order to verify that your powder measure is set correctly, you do need to use a scale. And judging from by what he says, I'm kind of under the impression that he never actually meant anyone to use the scale, like weigh every single charge or trickle or anything like that. He's got kind of a different mindset for that. Has anyone else kind of caught that in his writings as well?
Interesting.
No, I just thought it was a poor design. And,
Do as I say, not as I do.
yeah. What's Kingpin think about that? You got any thoughts on?
What is the question?
Yes, Idaho. We're going to talk about scales. Have you started using a scale yet, Kingpin?
No, but tip of the hat tactical thought out there sent me 2 sets of scales and some what do they call it? The powder drippers. So I gotta get all that put together, and then I went shopping the other day looking for some powders and some primers, but they didn't have any in the store that I don't like going to anyway. So
This is the scale I would recommend, Idaho. Should I blow this up? I can't. This is a OHAS reloading scale. You can see the name right there. This is the 502, and you can get a 505, which is a little bit better. There you go. 6-year Texans telling you good stuff. That's a great scale. This one, on the other hand, is not.
That one's like 2 2x4s. No, 1 2x4 and 2 bricks.
So what you're saying is you do not recommend the red scales.
I do not recommend Hornady's balance beam scale. I do not. I just can't get it to work right. And maybe I need to break down and actually read the directions. My wife says reading
it
is
does help to read the directions. I've had a couple of issues too, but
Did you check that link?
Do what?
Kyle, did you check that link?
I did. I bought 10 bags.
What the hell?
What the hell? I knew that was coming.
Well, I figure I'd donate. I'd donate it on a giveaway here, in the next couple months or so.
Now, Gene, I bought one just to tease Kyle. I guess I'll go get 9 more and match you.
Yeah. Do. Man, I had to whip that card out quick too.
I don't have my
This
wallet.
This is what I'm figuring out, Tactical FUD. RCBS and Lyman, I know, I'm almost positive because I have two. I have one of each. 505, 502, and the 1010 scales are all made by OHAS.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, so it can say RCBS, but if you can find just the OHAS, you can probably buy it cheaper, but you're probably not going to be able to.
And if you put them all side by side, they look exactly the same.
Except for the color of them.
Color.
That's exactly right, Andy. I've heard people fuss and cuss that electric powder throw for a long time, and they haven't done their due diligence.
Well, Jamie, come over here to the house. I'll show you exactly how to use it. And I come across 1 in 20 overcharges. That's what I use for my 30-06, 308, 270, all my big rifles.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh, I got to put my glasses on. Y'all are going too quick.
Yeah, really, guys. These, this newer stuff is made in China, I guess. But this OHAS right here, this is fairly new.
Put my wallet out of that bag, please.
Willie gave me this 502 and a Lyman 505, and I think I like the 502 better because it's a little more compact.
I got a Lyman 502. It's identical to that, Jamie.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
This one
just it's
doesn't have
orange. That's all.
a foot peg. I missed it.
We've got the old cast RCBS. I'm just not sure what model number it is.
I've got the one that my dad used when I was a kid and passed it on to me, and it still works the same way. Although I do have my Franklin Armory IntelliDropper that I use, currently. But I'll still go back to that beam scale when I'm, wanting to sit down and just do some little one-ups. Set it and forget it.
Look at that. That's good information right there. And Alaska one, Andy, I bet you those old herder scales are the same. I bet they're OHAS too.
Yeah. Herders didn't make anything. They just farmed it out.
Co-branded.
I've got I got the first scale I ever used as well. It was my grandfather's. It's an RC. It's a Redding, one of the brown Reddings, and it still works just as good today. I don't use it, but I've still got it.
So we're
Good
looking
night,
at
Ocean.
Good night, Julio.
partisan brass.
Hi, Julio.
Hey, folks.
Yeah, PPU.
Kyle's on it, isn't he?
Good night, Andy.
I think the last time I just looked at it, it said out of stock.
Son of a.
Gene,
Well,
bad no.
After me and Mark got on it, it's
Tormenting the guy.
What are y'all buying? Tobacco?
yeah, yes.
Y'all say good night to Andy.
Night, Andy.
Night, Andy.
Not Andy.
Not Andy.
Night, Andy.
Good night, Andy.
Night, John Boy.
Good Lord.
Night, Mary
She's
Ellen.
gonna kill you.
Kyle, are you tearing up that card?
We got. Do we have some moderators out there? I'm sure we do.
Uh-oh, we got a visitor.
It's all right. It's under control.
Tread, nail it. Hang on, let me change my quantity.
I got him.
Pollard's got a 500. Man, we've had some good topics and conversation going on tonight, guys. Who would lose?
We lost Mock again.
Mock, he'll be back. He shouldn't have done that because now I can't look at him without thinking of a little 5-year-old girl trying to say Mark and calling him Mock. She's absolutely precious too.
Kyle, though, I just sent out a package of 7.62 by 39. I find it at the range on occasion, so when I get a bunch of it, I'll send it to you.
I'm
So
still
a lot of
trying
the-
to figure this out here.
A lot of the guys are. No, he wasn't trolling. He was very polite so far.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Kyle,
That's
who
what-
all have you looked for your breast?
One more time.
Who all have you looked for online for the 7.62 by 39 breast?
I've been killed by American Reloading Midway twice. I eventually just gave up. Well, I want to let me proceed to check out. What the heck?
So
Good God.
I'm going to be probably dropping by and picking Kyle up about 9 or 9:30 in the morning. We're going down to pick up my new toy that has arrived at the Cabela's in Kennesaw, Atworth, wherever you want to call it. 92 and 75. And I'm going to do a video, but it's something that Leadsmith would enjoy and approve of. So
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it then.
You got brass, Jamie?
I do not, but I think Mock's going to send me some. I don't have a bullet mold yet either, so that's the reason I was asking.
What bullet mold do you need?
A 44 appropriate for the special.
Okay.
I can certainly
Why in
lend you a
the
few, Jamie.
world are they making it this complicated? I don't get it.
Yeah, we got nothing but good to say about Arsenal 503. They're a 246 grain T-style semi-watt.
Yeah, that's the one. That's one of the ones I recommended.
That's the Blackhawk, right? 44
Yeah.
Blackhawk.
Yeah,
So you're outed now.
I'm outed now.
Well, you can talk about it now, I guess.
Mock, you got to quit chasing your tail, man.
I tell you, it's been a night, ain't it?
That's what happens when Texas people move to Georgia. Ain't we glad he's here, though? Yeah, I looked. I waited. Absolutely, James. Yes.
I love New Gun Day. I actually sat around the house today and thought, man, I'm going to go to the gun shop. But I was just there the other day and nothing really tripped my trigger. And so I just stayed home today. You know, it's nothing really catching me.
I called my gun shop today and asked if they had my gun in, and they told me, no, it ain't got here yet, but hopefully in the next few days.
So, Jamie and Kyle, I'm going to need your help. You heard my wife say something about skeet shooting the other day.
Yep.
So when I come home with that over under 20 gauge, I'm going to be calling you guys.
What are you gonna call us?
Witnesses.
Yep. I can't believe she said that. I think she's full of crap. I think she's full of crap.
Do you guys do any of that? I don't know if they're pheasants or ducks or geese or whatever, where there's a bunch of birds flying over your head and you're popping as many of them as you can. Do you use reloads for that and hand loads for that, or does that kind of the same deal? You kind of trust what you make, or would you rather stick to factory for moving delicate targets?
I've never done it, but I think I would get a load figured out and use my hand loads on that because shotgun can get expensive. But that's.
I guess you could also throw in the clay pigeons, the fake stuff. That's same with like a real bird too, because it's the same principle.
They just don't taste as good.
If that's the case, I would say I'm going to shoot my own what I produce. However, I refuse to get into shooting game birds because they are too addictive. I have a friend of mine who talks about how many thousands of dollars he spends on all of the accessories that it takes to go game hunting, including dogs, boats, and stuff like that. So I said, nope, not going to do it. I'm an addictive type of a person, and I refuse to spend that much money duck hunting. The clay pigeons, yes.
But you have to parboil those clay pigeons so long. And it's so hard.
They'll taste just fine.
I don't shoot skeet either.
Yeah, they're not good either. They're a little chalky.
Somebody can hand throw one and I'll shoot it.
If you grind them up real fine, you can use it like powdered sugar there, CW.
There you go.
James Pollard's got an accent. James, where I live, I don't have no accent, brother.
No,
I would say at least 6 months.
Well, it depends on how much you eat.
Idaho, we won't ask you how you know that.
Bowl full of grits every day will help.
Shrimp and grits.
Man, Ozark, you got a turkey hunt, dude. I'm telling you.
I get spring turkey, with my license. I don't have a problem with shooting some turkey, but they won't let us use our own lead. You got to use factory junk or tungsten.
The thing about shotgun shells, you used to could buy them for $5 and $6. Now they're $15 or $20 a box. So yeah, I'd probably do the reloading thing. I'm learning. Still got a lot to learn.
All right, Dave, I'll bite. Me, I like to tinker. I'm pretty mechanical. I can do a lot of things with that stuff. So I would recommend that for someone, and I'd help them through the process. Some of the rebluing kits and some of the tools you can get will help you along the process. They aren't as good as a a professionally done bluing job or something like that, but you can get by with decent results if you take care of your product and be prepared to do it again in a couple, 3 years, depending on your storage methods. But yeah, I'd recommend it. Save some money, get something used. You ain't got to worry about bumping it in the tree or dropping it or
Rattle can.
yeah. I mean, you can always go with this 2-part epoxy coatings. I mean, I'm an old bluing guy and a wood stock guy, but I like some of this new finish they got out there. Looks pretty neat.
I'm with you on that, Mark.
I love to tinker, and sometimes I tinker a little too much. I've had dyes I've refinished. I've had, things go wrong with stuff. I've even had a 300 blackout up where I ended up lapping the bolt just to get it to run. But yeah,
See, James, that's a thought that I haven't thought of. Where you're at in the country would help determine that too, because down here we don't have a law saying we can't use lead shot or upland birds, duck, whatever. So I mean, if you're in a lead-free state, heck yeah, man, you better learn to load shot shells.
hey Jamie, what was our second topic? What was that deal?
Oh, we don't have time to get into that now, but we
Okay.
was going to talk about. Dave has kept us on our toes tonight, man.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's
Dave.
been cool. He's been playing advocate. That's neat.
That's fun.
Thanks, Dave. Dave's good people.
That's a good point right there, Idaho. Fish and Game planting some turkey here. Don't have fat coyotes and no turkeys.
Ain't that right?
What's the best
Well-
recipe for coyotes?
I submitted my application for rejection to Graff and Sons. We'll see what happens.
The rejection department.
And apparently I had to do it in triplicate.
Like I said, Kyle, I find it on my range all the time. Next batch I get, it's on your doorstep.
Well, I would appreciate the hell out of that, sir.
Not a problem.
Kyle,
Shoot
what you
me an
need?
Email, Kyle.
He's good now. I need some 7.62 by 39 brass.
Oh,
I called you, didn't I?
You
Mark,
did.
Mark.
I'm just having fun, guys.
Mike, I don't have none of that because I would have some myself if I had it. I have dice for it, but no cartridge.
Yeah, I still got to get the dyes and all that stuff. I just want to get the brass and everything and make sure that I had everything to do. I got to tinker around with a couple of molds and see if I can make something work.
For 7.62 by 39.
Yeah. I don't have any like 314. What is it? 314, 316, something like that.
I'll cast you up some bullets, Kyle. I just did a video on a range report, the last one, not yesterday's, but my previous range reports from real good groups with the 120 grain 311, 359 ideal mold.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Hobo.
I
I
think you
appreciate
sent
that.
me
And
some
thanks,
of those.
Mark. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I did. That's right.
Yeah,
I'm anxious.
and I was pretty excited about that. And the main reason why is for some reason I never have a bullet that's actually listed in a load manual unless I'm getting like a jacketed Hornady bullet. When I
Exactly.
flipped through my Lyman casting book, I was like flipping through. I'm like, whoa, what? What's this? This is actually, I don't have to guess.
I know you
This is taking the workout.
can't get to the bench fast enough.
No.
You need to start collecting older manuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
eBay has a lot of them.
You just don't overpay for them. You keep watching, you'll find them cheaper.
Yeah, they're like, some of them are $4 and something.
There was actually a link going around too. I'll talk to you about it after.
Okay.
What are they recommending for AK round? Like a 147?
No, it's 123 is their average.
No, okay.
125, 123.
I've just got a whole lot of new 7.62 by 39 rifles. Only 2 of them have ever been shot. And then we get to play with 8mm Mauser. Whee!
I love that too.
I love that.
Kyle, you know the rule is you have to have the brass before you purchase the firearm.
I never have said that I've purchased the firearms either, sir.
Or acquired.
Well, you never know what you're going to acquire until you get there.
We'll start somewhere.
Is that why I've got all of this 45 brass?
Aha.
Jamie's seen a couple of them.
Upcoming video, huh?
For me? No.
Mm.
I'm not going to put this score on YouTube. No, I sent a couple of people some pictures.
Let me go back to that question about buying used that may need some work rather than old. I just think if you're in there doing work on a gun, you're learning that gun. You're learning it inside and out, and
Amen, brother.
you're just going to know if anything goes wrong. You're going to know automatically what's wrong with it, and you know exactly what to do to fix it.
You're putting your heart and soul into it.
That's one of the beauties about building your own. You know, either I don't care what it is, from a kit or piecing it together. You know that thing inside and out.
Yeah, I've taken some apart and loved it with my heart until I got it back together, and I cried over it. And it's like, okay, where do I find a diagram to put this SOB back together?
And if you haven't experienced shooting a detent pin across the room, you have no business to talk right now.
I got one. Anybody else tore the Walther P22 down?
I don't have one.
Yeah.
There's a spring. It's the slide, catch, and release spring. It's like an eyelash in the shape of a V. I lost it twice. Yeah, I'll take it. I know. I lost it twice and found it twice.
You lucky. I had actually lost a detent pin for an AR, and I had given up. I went to bed. I went to work. I came back home the next day, and I'm like, what is stuck to the bottom of my foot? I'm in the next room, and that thing is stuck to the bottom of my foot.
Yeah.
I was like, look at this.
Well, I didn't have the radio on or the YouTube on when I was taking the gun down the first time, and I actually heard it hit the carpet. I had Berber carpet.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know what flew. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know nothing. So I looked up Numerich's diagram, and I'm looking for this little bitty V-shaped spring. I found it. Well, then the second time I did it like a dummy, I had a deer skin on the wall. Well, it landed on the deer skin, and it caught it.
Man.
Fur, the fur and everything. All right, boys. 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Mario.
West Coast weirdo, what's happening?
West Coast weirdo. But yeah, I thought it was so funny. I came in from work the next day, and I was taking the day off, taking the shoes and socks and all that stuff off, putting on some comfy clothes because I ain't going nowhere. I got everything I need here. I'm walking through the house, and I'm like, what is on my foot? And it's the detent pin. I was like, look at this. Now I can finish putting it together.
You could have just stuck a dog toenail in there.
Well, it's interesting what you find when you're looking for the spring or the part. You find all kinds of little
all
things.
kinds of stuff, but yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a
Dave's
detent
got another
on me the other
question
day
for us.
putting my AR pistol together. Yep, I know how it feels.
Yeah, Mark, I don't know if you've ever been in my basement, but
Yep.
You can find all kinds of stuff down there.
Yep.
That's why it said the dog's toenail.
You know, guys, I really like good lighting. I like these LED strip lights. And I got an LED strip light on one side of the room and a fluorescent one right over my workbench. And I think about that every time I'm putting one of my 1911s back together. Because any of these little sprigs pop, if you've got those fluorescent lights hanging above your bench, that can get ugly quick.
you're gonna point them towards the LEDs, huh?
Yeah. Aim for the LEDs, not the fluorescent.
I switched mine out for LED. They make LED tubes, look just like fluorescents, but they're just
Right.
they're cheap and they're great.
They last forever.
G. Pishner signing off. Dave got us the question. Both rifles are equally priced, 8mm 30-06, and why? And what would the difference be? Most of the guys out in the side chat are saying 30-06 because better brass, better bullets.
Well, I might lean towards the 8mm, depending on, is this an old milsurp or is this a new factory? I don't know. I guess it don't matter. But you can make your 8mm brass not terribly too much pain. But yeah, 30-06 is more available. 30 cal bullets are everywhere.
Yeah. At this
I'd
point,
say 30-06.
I've got a lot more experience with the 30-06, so that's where I would go.
Now, if it was an old Mauser 8mm, I'm jumping on the Mauser just because of the nostalgia.
I don't know a whole lot, so when I hear 30-06, the first thing that comes to my mind is lever action, and I don't think lever action. So if there's a lever action 8mm out there and I don't know about it, forgive me, but 30-06 because lever action.
All right, I like it.
Kingpin spoke.
Not me, Kingpin. 30-06 to me is a bolt gun or an M1 Garand, as
Garand
would say.
Here we go.
Scotsman is not here. It's a Garand.
It's a Garand.
It's actually both. Garand is how the man pronounces his name. Garand is how we know the rifle.
Exactly.
So it's actually both.
Kind of like radiator versus radiator.
All I can say is watch your thumb.
And didn't they have those old 1890 whatever, the lever guns and 308 and stuff? What were those cartridges? They were.
The Browning redid the 1895 with the 30-06. That's probably what.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple hanging on the wall in New Mexico when I took that last trip, and it was either 308 or 30-06 lever, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? A lever gun and a bottleneck cartridge like that?" And I know they got the 30-30, but I just was dumbfounded when I heard it was 30-06.
Yeah, I think Browning did them. I don't know if the Henry is long enough for an 06, but it's long enough for 308 because they do Creedmoor.
Gotcha. That's pretty neat.
And I'll take random calibers for 1,000, please, Alex. Let's go to CW.
Okay, guys. Next time I'm going to the gun shop, I'm looking at lever actions. That's it. I don't have one. I need another one in my life. I need something else to reload.
I don't have one. I don't even know that I've seen one, but I know they did make them.
I need a 357 lever in my life bad. I'm just
they're good. They're good. They're so good to have. I got a couple of them.
I need a 357 pistol in my life. I don't even have one.
I knew those Ruger early Rugers were really good. The Service 6, the Security 6.
The Security 6. My buddy's got a Security 6 I've been trying to buy for 25 years.
I know you told the story a few times.
He just will not get rid of it.
Not working very well, there is it.
Right now,
I'll make you feel bad, Kyle. I'm sorry, Jamie. I didn't mean to step over you. Go ahead.
Hot Pot needs a lever gun in 45 Colt.
Yes.
I'm going to be needing one in 44 Magnum probably. And Kingpin was trying to say something. What were you saying, Kingpin?
It's very possible I've got that 30-06 caliber mixed up with like 30-30 or something like that. I don't know. Because
No, they did used to make some.
I'm not big on the rifles. I'm more of a handgun type of shooter.
They're
So if I got
they're
that
older,
wrong,
but
then
they do exist.
it happens.
Yeah, 30-30 is one of those calibers that's synonymous with a lever. 30-06 generally is not synonymous with a lever.
Then
But they do make some.
that's probably the mistake that I'm making. So never mind.
It's all good.
It's all good, man. We all learn.
I warned everybody I didn't know what I was talking about before I started talking.
Well, dang,
Shame on you if
started
you
getting
listen to what I was
excited
saying.
about a 30-06 lever gun. Like, I don't know if my shoulder can handle it, but I'm curious.
Yeah, Idaho's got a good point. Remington even made a pump action 30-06.
Oh,
They did.
Okay. I remember
And
hearing that.
that was very prolific in the 60s and 70s, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they
It's
made
manual automatic.
my body's hurting just thinking about that.
I don't know. I got so tired of shooting when we went and shot with Georgia Boy. I brought the wrong ammo can. I didn't have a whole lot of 44 Magnum with me. I was shooting my Henry, and he's like, "Here, try these. Here, try these. Here, try these. Here, try these." After about 20 minutes, I was like, "Man, I got to take a break. This thing don't have no rubber pad on the end of it, dude. It's stainless steel."
Remington 76, Remington 760, and Remington 7600 all were available in 30-06. All.
They got one at the shop. It's 243 semi-auto. That's pretty neat. Old Remington.
Yeah, Winchester made one too, the 100 243.
See, I was just fooling you guys, and I was trying to come up with another topic, so I was pretending to be an idiot so that we talk about these historical guns.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't be surprised if one has been made.
Timmy's right. They made autos too.
If one
Those were
what?
74, 740, and 7400.
Well, I just
Stealth King.
So did Browning. Browning
two
had
months 2 months ago walked in the shop and saw a lever action 20 gauge, and I thought, what? I mean, it didn't.
You talking about a semi-automatic 30-06?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to have one.
Browning made them. Winchester. Remington had 3 different ones. There's probably a few more.
All right. Well, I guess we need to go to the Remington 700 action pistol that we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
Another semi-automatic 30-06 was the Grant.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, they there's plenty of semi-automatic 30-06s, but I don't remember if mine was a Remington or a Browning. It was about 20 years ago. It was PD, pre-divorce.
I think the Rough Riders were using the 3040 Craig,
Mhm.
Idaho, but I'm not for positive.
Yep.
Which was a mess.
Mark Thomas, I have not seen a 35 Remington pump. That must be.
Those were in 76s, 7600s as well. I got one of those.
Yeah, that must be
Model
a unique
141
firearm
and 140.
Right
All right,
Yeah,
guys, we're up against the clock here.
Oh, wow.
It's been a blast tonight, guys. We've had more folks in the panel and more folks out in the side chat. It's been a blast. We do need to start going through the room and talk about what we got coming up and start letting these people get on with their weekend. Remember, we're working on with a Bullet Man's fundraiser that's coming up pretty quick, and yeah, y'all just keep on, guys. Y'all making me want to stay on another hour, but we got to. I want to remind y'all before we start going through the room. Sunday is Mother's Day. You have been reminded. If you forget, guess what? It's on you, baby. Led Smith, what do you got working on for us?
Well, let's see here. Here pretty soon, I will be doing some outer coat work.
Yeah.
Somebody here sent this to me. I think it was CW. Yeah. Job hand
Nice.
loading. So some of y'all might have saw the shout out video. And what I found out is it's not terribly uncommon to get spooned by CW.
I love mine.
I think I got spooned twice.
Yeah.
One shot by CW.
What a good guy, man. Not only once, but twice.
That's fun.
Love the spoon. Yes, sir.
CW's good people.
Yes,
We
sir.
like him. We like him.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Mark?
Oh, I got a video I owe everybody. I got to do the Cranky versus James Pollard old Modelo 1912 308 video. So that's coming up soon. And then I'm going to do another versus video, and that'll be a surprise. But, yeah, just working on stuff around here, getting projects taken care of. So y'all have a good weekend.
Cool.
We'll go head up there to Mr. Hot Pot.
Mr. Hot Pot. Thank you
Oh,
for
you took
doing
the
it.
easy route.
Hey, thank you all for having me on this illustrious panel. I have learned so much tonight. Great side chat. I have a 3-gun and an IDPA shoot this weekend, but Monday I am at the gun store looking at lever action rifles.
Yeah. Conversion.
Hopefully a 45 long Colt or maybe something in 30-06.
Nice.
Yes. Thanks for having me, Jamie. I really appreciate it. Kyle, CW, Kingpin, Bulldog, Led Smith, Mock. Great weekend to all of you.
Hey, Gene, thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you very much. I'll be interested in seeing this 45 Colt lever gun.
Me too.
30-06 is probably my favorite caliber in a rifle, but I love 270. I can't say that. I love so many of them. Kingpin, what you got going on, my brother?
Wow, man, from a viewer's perspective, the chat was really active. A lot of good conversations going on there. The panel flowed really well tonight. A lot of people got plenty of time to say what they wanted to say, and everybody was just bouncing off of everybody. So, from sitting back just watching, it was a real good show tonight. So, thank you everybody for having me on, and check out Gizzard Gary coming up next. He does a live show. We're just basically sitting around and cutting it up. So, if you want to watch another live show, Gizzard Gary's up next.
Good deal. Good deal. Thank you, sir. Thanks for being here. Mr. Bulldog, you going to do anything?
Hang on for a second. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
Hey,
Actually, you can actually see my face now.
what about that?
Turn it back. Turn it back. Turn it back.
Not a problem. Goodbye. I started off this afternoon working on the lower for Willie Bullet Man's lower, I guess. My portion of the build, I would say, and I decided to take a nap, and y'all saw what happened. I ended up in a little bit late getting into the chat, but I have the lower, and by the end of the weekend, it will be done.
That's awesome, brother. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
You rock.
Thanks for being here, buddy. Sorry to disturb you from your nap.
oh no, I much would have preferred to be in the beginning chat before, as opposed to jumping into the middle of it.
Well, we'll hang out a few minutes.
Good to have you here either way.
Absolutely. CW, what's going on, my brother?
Oh, nothing much. No plans really. We're gonna have a rainy weekend, so maybe I get to the range, do some shooting. I'm gonna go to the range tomorrow morning and help out with some lighting. That's about it. Nothing really planned. No molds coming in. Then he allows it. I'll do a little casting, but that's probably about it. I'll find something to do a video or two on.
Well, I want to say he's got a couple of videos on some Ruger Wrangler 22 bird head grip pistols
Nice.
there that you guys ought to go check out. His dad's on there with him. So
Yeah, he gave some shooting pointers too in one of the videos.
that's pretty cool.
It's his
That
technique.
That is pretty cool. Kyle, what you working on, brother?
All I want to say is thanks to the side chat and thanks to the panel. It has been a fantastic show. And if this ain't the best Friday night reloading show you've ever seen,
It ought to
it
be.
ought to be. Let me take us away.
I was worried about you, G.
Me too.
I was like, where's he going? Man down, man down. Oh, I got one more thing. What the heck? Oh. Okay. How many of y'all know that one?
I do.
Good job. Good job. All right, Jamie, take us out of here, buddy.
Say good night, sweetheart. Oh, sorry. Thought you wanted me to keep going.
Save it for the after chat. Guys, listen, we had as many as 52. We had one new guy. I hope he's still out there listening. And if this is the kind of thing you're interested in, buddy, come on back. Y'all been great on the side chat. Thank you all for being here. We'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock if the Lord's willing. And we hope God blesses you all real good until next Friday night.